I've been walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who
This is the Polish Ambassador, featuring the Grouch and Scott Mace. Don't get it twisted.
I might be conscious, still I like to fuck.
I like it.
Do a little yoga, then lift some weights up. I be as I'm supposed to, perfectly imperfect.
Word.
Indulge in deep combo, get hype when she twerk.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to a special broadcast of Smashing Kidney Disease. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thank you for joining us. Man, this is going to be a show that's going to be lit, on fire, however you want to call it. We got a definite great show for you tonight. This warrior just came out of nowhere, but before we get to our guest, please share this broadcast. We'd like to get 50 people on here live. Let's try to break the record. Share this broadcast with your family, your friends, your neighbors, because you're not going to get information like this anywhere else. Man, did y'all see that interview that I did with Lady J on the Worldwide Flavor Network? That was off the chain. I had an opportunity to talk about kidney disease, something that definitely need to be talked about, especially in the Black community. So our guest, this is a dynamic kidney warrior. I mean, just listen to this. Ronaldo Alexander. He is a dynamic motivational speaker, published author, life coach, youth mentor, and a certified personal trainer. He continues to empower people around the world with his message of perseverance and faith, injecting hope into the minds, hearts, and souls of countless people around the world. He has been a tool of inspiration and empowerment in churches, prisons, youth conferences, men and women events, and schools as well. His energy and ability to capture the attention of his audience through his heartfelt story of facing challenges of depression during years of dialysis at an early age, to changing lives of people on dialysis and inspiring people of all walks of life, and has been a blessing to thousands. I mean, this guy just got a litany of stuff. Ronaldo is the founder of Ronaldo Alexander Motivations, which is a world-renowned business of counsel, guidance, and motivation. He attended Northwestern State University. I'm not sure what that is, and Chicho's, he'll say it, with studies in criminal justice and sociology. He also attended LSU in Shreveport, Louisiana, studying community health, concentrating on physical fitness. Ronaldo followed up with his fitness journey by attending Bodie Design University in Atlanta, Georgia, and finishing his internship at Body Design Personal Training, also in Atlanta, where he earned his personal training certification. Ronaldo has collaborated with Johnny Wimbrey, Nick Halleck, Les Brown, and many other profound authors and speakers around the world. His first book, Breakthrough, featuring Ronaldo Alexander, almost sold completely out on his order in 3 weeks. Ronaldo is also a United States Marine veteran, a trained firefighter, a professional commercial vehicle driver, and a lineman. But the greatest of all his accomplishment is being a father to his children. He has 2 daughters, Deja and Amaria. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Along with 2 sons, Bryce and Ronaldo II. Ronaldo is from Mansfield, Louisiana, but now resides in Mississippi. He plans on possibly moving back to Louisiana or Texas to continue to inspire people through his personal boot camp and fitness studio still built bodies. Man, this guy is phenomenal. He was on dialysis 5 years, and even though you hear a lot of those accomplishments, this brother got a lot of sad impact, like gut-wrenching stories that would take anybody out with the, as far as being depressive or whatever. So he's going to tell you the full story. Without further ado, let me bring on Ronaldo Alexander, but let me give him the special VIP treatment. VIP guest. Here we go. Hey, Ronaldo, what's going on, man? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Hold on, guys. Look. Ronaldo? Okay, sign out and sign back in. Can you hear me? Wait a minute, let me try something. So sign out and sign back in on the same link. All right, guys. So while we wait for Ronaldo to sign back on, this guy, man, tragedy after tragedy after tragedy before he finally made it to the other side of everything that I read of his accomplishments. But this gentleman had a tough life, especially when he got hit with kidney failure. All right, here we go. Hey, Ronaldo.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Okay, hold on one second, because I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, here we go. All right. I got
Good. The devil is a liar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what's going on, man? Pleasure to, like I said in the back room, it's finally a pleasure to meet you. We've been talking through text and Facebook, man. And like I said, it's definitely a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share. I appreciate it. You're doing a great job in what you're doing.
Thank you. It took me about 3 or 4 minutes to read all your accomplishment, your story, but as you told me, it hasn't always been that way.
Right.
Before, it hasn't always been Ronaldo, the dynamic motivational speaker, or the published author, or the life coach and youth mentor, or the certified personal trainer. How does your story start to lead you to accomplish all these countless things that you've done in your life?
Well,
I'm sorry.
after high school, I went into the Marine Corps. Once I finished, I got my CDL license, and I've joined the fire department. Everything else came afterwards. Uh, so those were the only accomplishments I had prior to dialysis. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah. So um, my story goes as such. And before I start, I actually I want to kind of connect with the audience, and I want to ask them a series of questions. And I just want them to I want them to understand that even though my story is dealing with kidney dialysis, that we all encounter issues in life. We all encounter tribulations. Um, so we all encounter storms. So what would you do if your life was hit with a Category 5 hurricane and literally destroyed everything you've sacrificed for? What would you do if the winds begin to blow and uproot everything you thought was solid? Everything you placed your faith on, everything you stood flat-footed and firm on was literally uprooted. How would you feel if a python was around your neck, literally choking the life out of you, and in every effort to struggle, to free yourself, to breathe, to live, in every effort, the grip on your neck only begin to get tighter and tighter? How would you survive that? How would you get through it? If everything was going as expected in your life, and out of the blue, bow, you was hit with a Mack truck, it seems. Not so much as physically, but a Mack truck mentally. And you faced every issue in life that you can even imagine. At the age of 26, I was diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. Mind you, I'm fresh out of Marine Corps, trained firefighter. I've always taken care of myself. Working out, being strong physically, mentally, and even faithfully was all I knew. It was all I knew. And out of nowhere, one day I'm at the epitome of life, and the next day, the doctors are telling me that they must prepare me for dialysis. I lost it. What do you mean? There must be some type of mistake. Got to be. I'm a man of faith. I speak encouragement. I live encouragement. I encourage and empower people, literally in churches and schools, in prisons, in life on the job. How is it that you're telling me that I'm faced with kidney disease? They said, I'm sorry, sir, but we got to prepare you for dialysis. I got to tell you, Steve, at that moment, I was dazed. I couldn't see. It was like I didn't know if I was coming or going. It's like I was laying on the mat and somebody had literally kicked the breath out of me. Like somebody had blindsided me and I didn't see it coming. I began to face depression. The only thing I knew was being strong. I was the one that family members would call and count on when they needed an issue and an issue resolved, a problem. I was always the leader in the Marine Corps, meritorious promotions, meritorious awards. The only thing I knew how to be was strong. I did not know how to depend on anybody. I was at the lowest place in my life. I didn't know what to do, Steve.
Wow.
Shortly after dialysis, about 3 weeks in, my ex-wife of almost 10 years, she left. This was the only person that had ever seen me break or cry. You know, a lot of times, Steve, you have to cry in the night to be able to smile in the day.
Mm.
And that was me. No one ever seen me weak. No one ever seen me cry. And the only person that ever experienced that was her. So when she walked out, I felt as if, man, didn't know what to do. I pulled away from everybody, Steve. I didn't want to be around anyone. Isolated myself. And if that wasn't enough for you, shortly after I lost everything I owned in a house fire.
Wait a
So it
minute.
was like, bam.
Wait a minute. What?
Go ahead.
What
I lost
happened?
everything. I lost all of my possessions in a house fire.
After your wife had left you, you lost everything in a house fire,
Yes.
and you was on dialysis.
Yes.
Wow, man. I mean, I know that right there would take anybody down to the lowest common denominator, man. What was you
Yes.
going through at that time?
Heavy, 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 heavy depression. And I'm actually gonna open up and share things with you that I
Sure.
that I hadn't that I had not even said
I want to
as written in the book.
give you the spotlight.
Yeah, so I faced depression at its worst. And I can remember myself before my house burned. I remember myself sitting on the edge of the fireplace, and in the fireplace, I had like a brick podium that came out so I could actually sit, and it was a fireplace insert there, so I would sit. I had an 18-inch, 12 gauge Winchester, solid black, and I would sit and I would hold it, and I would rock back and forth. I would just rock. I would rock, and what I was doing, Steve, is I was trying to find a reason to continue. I didn't know if I wanted to continue life as I had known it. I didn't know if I wanted to bear the weight. I did not know if I could do it. And not even so much if I could, Steve. I didn't know if I wanted to. I hated the fact that people would see you and they would say, "Oh, he's sick," or I heard he had dialysis. Just the mere thought of someone seeing me in a state to where I was dependent or I needed help, I was weak. It was distraughting to me. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible feeling. So I would rock, and I would try my best to think things out and wonder if I wanted to continue. I didn't do it, but I did lose my house afterwards. After I lost my house, my aunt and uncle gave me a little room, a small room in a small house that they allowed me to live in. And I barricaded myself in this room. I pulled myself away from the rest of my family. I pulled myself away from my friends. I wouldn't go anywhere. It was just dialysis and back. Dialysis and back. Dialysis back. I gained about 30 pounds, Steve.
Wow.
Miserable, miserable, miserable place. Miserable place.
Wow. Man. So you did dialysis 5 years.
I did dialysis 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the turning point in my life was one day, my 3-year-old daughter, she reached out and she hugged me, Steve. She embraced me as if she understood that I needed help and I couldn't ask for help. I did not know how to ask for help. And she hugged me. 3 years old, she hugged me and she squeezed me and I broke. Everything I was holding inside literally came out. I was crying. I was laying on the floor, man, just walling around, and she just held me. She held me. And just thinking about it now, man, it does something to me because 3 years old, of course, she didn't know what was going on. But it's as if she felt my energy and she know that I needed help. She knew that I needed something. And that hug was what actually broke me through. That hug actually led me into my why. I came into my why moment. I found my will to survive through that hug. I got up and I came to myself. And when I got up, I said, you know what? My children need me, Steve. My children need me. They need me strong. They need me healthy, physically, they need me strong physically, mentally, and faithfully. And at that point, I made up in my mind that not only was I going to live, but I was going to live and I was going to be prosperous in whatever I did. And I began, Steve, at that point, man, I began to go back to the gym and I began to work out. And I would work out before dialysis in the morning. I would have dialysis. I would come back and rest and I would go work out again. I would work out twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, because what initially ended up happening is I began to transform my body. And the most amazing thing happened, Steve, when as my body began to transform, I began to get stronger physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I began to see all type of life lessons through the gym. The gym became my sanctuary. And as I resculpted my physical body and my mind, I began to take on clients and train people. So I would have a class in the gym in the morning, and I would run a boot camp session in the evening. And I began to transform lives, and people began to testify, and people began to proclaim that they had no reason to complain. They would look at my situation, and I was in Louisiana, Stephen, 100-degree plus, not counting 100% humidity. And I was literally trying to build Rome in a day. In other words, everything I had, I put into it. And the most amazing thing happened with my clients. They began to experience the exact same thing I experienced. The more in shape they got, Steve, the stronger physically, mentally, and faithfully they became. Every
And these
aspect
are
of their lives began to change.
and these were people on dialysis or
No,
just regular people.
no, these are people in the community. I had some relatives, I had some friends, and the nurse in charge of the dialysis center. I was her patient in the morning, and she ultimately became my client in the evening. So I
Are you
trained her. She was a part
serious?
of my boot camp. Yes.
How? I mean, you don't hardly see anything. I mean, it could be something out there like that where other people are doing it, but that's not the norm where you'll see a nurse, go do a boot camp with a patient she treats in the morning. I mean, that's awesome. You must have had
Yes.
a big impact on people, man, and they must have seen that, and especially on yourself.
Yes. It was amazing. Actually, it was an inspiration to me. There were times where I wanted to give up, even out there in the heat. I didn't want to, but just to know that the nurse in charge of me, I was her patient in the morning, and she was my client in the evening. Man, that was powerful. It was such an inspiration to me.
So when you came to that moment, your why moment, so your diet and your compliance with treatment, all that changed.
Yes. So so what happened is ultimately they didn't want me, the doctors didn't want me to lift anything over 20, 25 pounds. But I was dying from the inside out, Steve. I was literally dying. And what I did, I wouldn't necessarily suggest to anybody. It's just what I did. It was something I had to do. I started to work out and I lift way more than 25 pounds because my thought process was that I'm dying. And ultimately, everybody's going to die. But I made up my mind to live and to live in prosperity before I die. And working out was who I was. It was who I was. So I made the decision to work out, and the doctors, they monitor me closely, and they say they never seen anything like it. Like they were amazed. They never seen, a dialysis patient go in the gym and pick up 220-pound barbells in each hand walk to the bench, lay down, and bench press it 9 to 10 times, or jump up on a dip bar with a belt on with 3 45-pound plates hanging from the belt doing 10 to 15 dips. They never seen anything like it. And it inspired people in such a way that I had newspaper write-ups and clippings on me. And like I said, my story just began to empower people. And it's one thing about empowerment. It's one thing about coming to your why. Before you come to your why or finding your will to survive, understanding why you shouldn't give up or why you shouldn't quit, you have to understand who you are, and not only understand it, but you got to accept it. And when you accept it, Steve, you accept everything that comes along with it. You accept the heartache, you accept the pain. I had to accept the dialysis, man. I had to accept the loneliness. I had to accept depression, because these were the things that shaped and molded me. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but I'm at a place faithfully, man, in my faith that it's by no other way I could achieve it, I could be. So I would never wish it on my enemy, but at the same time, I wouldn't take it back if I could.
So take us back when you got the call for your transplant. What was you doing the moment you received the call that the gift of life was waiting for you?
Okay, so fast forward. So we're 5 years into dialysis. At this point, I had transformed my mind. I was transforming the minds of people, literally empowering them. And ultimately I had made up my mind. My mindset was this: I believe that God can heal me miraculously. I believe it. If He do, fine. If He don't, fine. If I receive a kidney transplant, fine. If I don't, fine. I really just didn't care, because at that point in my life, Steve, I was more concerned about being productive in my life than I was about having a long life. It was more important to me to be productive in the life that I was living for however long it was than to live a long life and not be productive. So I had
Wow.
that mindset. So having that mindset, I wasn't even thinking about a kidney transplant. My only mission was to empower people, to encourage people, to inject hope into their veins, into their souls, their hearts, and their mind, to change their outcome about life. That was my only objective. And that particular night, Steve, it was August 2nd. I was in Shreveport. I was actually living in a small college apartment, because I was also going to school full time at LSUS in Shreveport while on dialysis. So I went to this restaurant called Cheddar's. It was late. I went and I had a late dinner, and I remember there was a Minister Kirkendall, and his wife. They were having dinner. Now I was on disability. I didn't have a lot of money, but I specifically remember paying for their dinner, because I believe in giving, and the more you give, it comes back into your life some way. So I paid for their dinner. I left. I was on my way back to my apartment, and I pulled over in the Walmart parking lot, and I was sitting there. I was just sitting there. I didn't want to go in, didn't have nowhere to go. I was just sitting there, and I sat there and I was just reflecting on life, and my phone rang. When my phone rang, I saw the area code as being Iowa State, which is where one of my transplant centers were. So I answered the phone. Hello. They said, Mr. Alexander. I said yes. I said, is this the call? They said yes. Are you ready? I said, yes, I'm ready. They said, this is what I need you to do. We need you to go get your support person, be back at the airport. We're going to fly you and your support person by private jet into Iowa City, Iowa, and you're going to get a transplant. And at this point, my mouth was dropped. I was in total amazement. When we hung up, Steve, I looked at my phone. It was 12:01. So I began to yell. I began to cry out and just thank God, man, because I was receiving a kidney transplant on my birthday, August 3rd, 2014. I received a kidney transplant on my birthday. And that was all
Wow.
I needed to confirm my mandate and who I am and what I was supposed to do. My
You
faith had
received
gone
a
to a level,
transplant on your
man.
birthday.
I received a kidney transplant on my birthday. On yesterday, August 3rd, I turned 45, but it marked the 6th year of my kidney transplant.
Wow. Happy belated birthday. I mean, I already wished you, but, again, but that's, wow, that is awesome, man. I mean, how often does that happen?
man, man, you know what? I'm the only story that I know. I don't, I don't know, but
I know a
when I
gentleman.
when I
No, I was just going to say a buddy of mine received a transplant on Easter.
that's awesome. To receive a kidney transplant is awesome in itself. But for me, to receive a kidney transplant on my birthday, man, I'm overjoyed. I get excited to think about it. So what it did, man, it boosted my faith to a level, man, that I can't even explain. When I share my testimony, Steve, because of this, I I expect things to happen. I expect people to literally forget about what they're going through, and I expect my story to inspire them. I expect that them to close their eyes on things that are blinded. In other words, the opportunity that they couldn't see because they were in dark places. When I tell my story, Steve, I expect them to begin to see out of what could be, and begin to see
Mm,
out of what can be. That everybody was created for a reason, and your past, man, and your pain, it only sets you up for your promotion. Your past and your pain, it pushes you to your promotion. But we give up, bro. We give up in our pain, and we give up and we don't pursue because of our past. But if we ever can figure it out, that if we just keep pushing and not give up, if we can find our will to survive, the greatest blessings of your life is on the other side of that point of wanting to give up. And I experienced that.
hmm Now, let me ask you, Renato, what if someone's watching right now and they say, wow, I hear what he's saying, but what about me? Say somebody's going through some access issues where they got to get another access and keep going back to the surgeon, or just some condition that's a part of this disease that causes them to always have to go back and forth to the doctors or to the hospital. How would you suggest that person look at it to get over to the other side when they're going through so much pain and being uncomfortable as a result of someone else? Meaning, they got to go to the surgeon, they digging in the arm and doing this and doing that. And the person on the receiving side, it's like, I can't keep going through this, or someone who's been waiting for a kidney for 6 years, and they like, I can't keep going through this. What, how could one, they apply that to their life in real time?
Okay, first of all, I would share. I've I've had man, several fistulas, and I don't know if you could. I'm gonna try to see if you could actually see it here.
Yeah, see it, look, yeah.
That Yeah, that one stopped working before I was actually on dialysis because my nephrologist told me that it was coming and he wanted to prepare me, but before I could ever use it, it stopped working. So from there, I had, and it's crazy. It starts here and it goes all the way down. They they did a fistula here, which is they applied the artery to a vein there, and it stopped working before I got out of. Right as they finished, I think it worked about 40 seconds. They said, so they went all the way up here. I came out with 92 staples from here all the way to there. That that worked a while. It stopped. I had to get another one on the other side. So I
Mm,
would say I definitely know how you feel, but there's a model that was created, and when you hear it, you think it's more of a physical thing, but it's not. And I want to share it, and it can help you through that particular situation or any situation in life. So, Still Built was created when I was in the darkest places of my life. Okay, so to understand the process of steel, you have to understand that different elements and scraps were gathered, and impurities were extracted or removed from these scraps. So once these impurities were removed from these scraps, other elements, stronger elements, were then added. When you go through hard times in life, when you're tired of the surgeries, man, when you've suffered heartache and pain, backstab, hoodwink, the challenges of dialysis, what is the fistulas or any problem in life, and you feel like your life has no worth because you're going over and over and over and over, and if it's not one thing, it's another, and you're physically and mentally depleted. You have nothing else to give, and you're fighting for your life. Man, you have to understand that the scraps of your life, that there's value in it. See, the difference between scraps and waste is the scraps had value. They're recyclable. The waste don't. So you got to understand, even with the scraps of your life, that an exchange is happening, that impurities are being removed from your life, and it starts mentally with a mindset. Weakness is being removed, doubt is being removed, depression and suppression is being removed, and ultimately, what is happening is faith is being upgraded, patience is being added, strength is being added. So my suggestion would be just to walk it out, because when it's all said and done, your mindset will ultimately change when you don't give up. Even if you can't see your way through at the moment, if you just keep walking, if you just keep pushing. Steve, I want to just throw this in there, maybe to show a little illustration there.
Sure.
There's a particular scripture that I often recall, and it helps me. And it says that the word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So when you think about a lamp at your feet and a lamp in general, there's a globe on a lamp. So it only illuminates a certain area. When you turn on a lamp, it don't light up the whole room, only a certain portion. So as that lamp is on your feet, it lights your path, but not the entire path. It only lights a small piece of that path that's illuminated from your feet. So as you make one step forward, what do I mean make one step forward? Make one step forward. Make that decision not to give up and to keep going. Make that faith move to just move, even if it's a bear crawl. Even if it take everything that you have to make that move. Make that faith move and don't quit. Just make that move. And once you do that 2 or 3 times, you'll find out that your path has been illuminated a little bit further as you move. Once you move that left feet, before you move that left feet, Steve, you couldn't see. But once you move that left feet, where that lamp is, you saw that piece of the path. Once you brought forward that right feet that moved a little further past the left, you could see a little bit further of that path. Only thing I'm saying is, as you take it step by step and don't quit, one day you'll look back and you'll be able to see everything you couldn't see. You'll be able to have an experience from your struggle, and you'll know that your experience from your struggle has made a story. Your story has brought you into a testimony, and your testimony, according to the Bible, Steve, the enemy in Revelation is defeated by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. So there's power in your testimony. There are people's lives that are waiting to be unlocked, that they can pursue their vision that's going to come from your testimony. Man, that there are lights that are going to be illuminated in the minds and the hearts of people that's going to come forth from your story. The only way it happens is if you don't give up. It's so much bigger than you. If you could just go through the pain, if you could just go through it, connect with people that's going to breathe life into you, that's going to speak words of inspiration, and that's going to keep you grounded, because there'll be times when you want to give up and you want to stop. But when you connect with people of like faith and like mind, they keep that light bulb on. In other words, they keep your mind fresh and give you everything you need to continue to move forward. I'm a talker, Steve. So anytime you want to jump in, man, you just gotta.
Oh no,
When
man!
I started talking, man, it's just Yeah. So if you can find it within yourself to one step at a time, as thy days are, so shall your strength be. But sometimes you can't fathom making it through the day. But then you have to recall that your steps, the steps of a good man, are ordered. Take it step by step. Take it
Mm.
step by step. And you will find yourself achieving one day, step by step the next day. You'll find yourself achieving the next day. And before you know it, you've accomplished a week and 2 weeks, and you've accomplished a month. You've accomplished half a year and a year. And you'll be able to look back and say, man, I remember when I couldn't even see my way through that day 12 months ago. So it's a mindset to not give up. That mindset is inspired by your will to survive, which is your why. What is it that's going to keep you going through what you're going through? What is it? You got to have something that means more to you than yourself, because we'll quit on ourselves, Steve. But when you want to quit on yourself, you got to think about that person or that thing that will make you go when you don't want to go.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Now, so tell us, so you got the call. How did that come about with the kidney?
Yeah, it came out fine. Like I said yesterday, it marked
Well, I'm saying,
six.
like, we okay. Um, you may have already said it. Were you at home at? Oh, that's right, at 12:01. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, did you have a the recovery? How was that? Your recovery time?
Recover. My recovery time was about 2 weeks. They expected, possibly 6 weeks. Uh, because I was in such great shape, they said it was a great thing, and it was a major help. So in 2 weeks, Steve, I was out of there.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow. So, was it a living donor or was it a deceased?
It was a deceased, and as a kidney recipient, uh, transplant recipient, that's something that it's a joyous moment, but you have a piece of you that it's almost a sad occasion, because you have to think about it. If it wasn't a living donor, somebody had to die that you could live. And when you think about Steve, you think about that, man, I have no choice but to give it everything I got. I have no choice but to impact lives in every opportunity that presents itself. Somebody literally died that I can live. So as I'm rejoicing over a kidney transplant, there was a family that was mourning.
So, Ronaldo, I was hearing what you were saying about step by step. And so, what if someone said, well, when you got on dialysis, when your wife left and your house burned down, what spiritual message did you receive from that?
At that time, I didn't receive a spiritual message. I couldn't hear spiritually. I couldn't. If a person attempted to kind of encourage me, I literally couldn't hear them. I was dazed. I was just uh for about 2 to 3 years, man. I was literally in a zombie like state, and my only voice of prayer was just, Lord, help me. I didn't have insights. Like the words of faith that I spoke prior, I didn't have them. When it came to myself at that time, I didn't have them. I was so distraught. I did not have them. But the
Mm-hmm.
most profound thing, there were always people telling me along the way, you could do it. God got you. Be encouraged. But it didn't move me spiritually at that time. The thing that happened to me, God Himself had to do it. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get anything from that moment while I was in it. But afterwards, I can look back on it now, And I can tell you that when you're in the lowest place of your life and you can't see your way through, that if you just hold on and walk it out, that when it all comes around to a full 360, you're actually living out your testimony. You walking out your testimony. So you can't stall out where you sit. That's what I get out of it now. Because the important thing about moving, Steve, making it step by step, the important thing about moving is if you're not moving, you're dying. Any water sitting still becomes stagnated and diseased. A house not being utilized become dilapidated and ultimately have problems. Vehicles that
Sure.
just sit up and not move ultimately become tires become flat. We have issues with the cars, whatnot. So the important thing is just to keep moving. I would tell them to just connect with people that's gonna keep speaking words of faith to them, man, and just to to just keep going. That's the important thing. To just never give up. The core of my message ultimately evolves around and ultimately becomes the same thing. Don't give up.
Mm. So, um, now everything else came after the transplant, as far as still built and personal trainer and publishing, uh, book writing. All that happened after the transplant.
Yes, sir. So what happened is, as far as the publication, I was working in Puerto Rico as a lineman, and I ran across a lady that was trying to get me to join a travelers group, some type of traveling club where you get discounts uh, for traveling when you're in the club. And she went on to say that she was connected to some very powerful people. And she mentioned Johnny Wimbery, and she mentioned some, numerous other people. But she said she had an opportunity to become a part of a major book project, but she was afraid to tell her story. And I just began to encourage her and tell her my story, and begin to share with her the importance of sharing your story. And it inspired her. And she told me, she said, you should apply. And she gave me a web link. I went to the web link and I applied. The next day, they called me and they said that they've heard many stories. And normally the stories would go through a process, and the process of elimination. They wanted the best stories to fit the book itself that they were preparing. And my story went straight to Johnny Wimbery's office. And I talked to him personally. He said, I've never heard a story like yours. And he said, it's something amazing about it. And he said, I want you to be a part of this book project. So I was literally wowed. I became a part of that book project. Within 3 weeks, my order of books almost completely sold out. Within 10 months, I had a second book publication out. Uh, they wanted my story again. They wanted something that I had written, my inspiration, my impact to the world. They wanted published in another one of their book projects. So my first book is Breakthrough, featuring Ronaldo Alexander, and the second publication uh, is called Push, Persist Until Something Happens, featuring Ronaldo Alexander. So there are two major accomplishments that came just by me sharing my story.
Wow. Wow. I mean, this was, I mean, when you was that 26-year old starting dialysis, and your wife left you, and your house burnt down, and all the other trials and tribulations, you ain't have no idea that you would be doing any co-authoring or be a published author.
I had no idea. I had no idea, Steve.
Uh-huh. Kathy Mullen, transplant recipient warrior, wants to know, where can you get the book?
You can get the book on Amazon. Uh, Breakthrough, featuring Ronaldo Alexander, and Push, Persist Until Something Happens. And actually, if I could just step away for a couple of seconds, I'll show them the two books here. 1 second.
Sure, sure. Guys, share this video. Awesome show. We got about 8 more minutes left till we end, but this has been a great show. We got a definite surprise for you at the end, so stay tuned. Okay, let me put you on solo.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
This is Breakthrough featuring Ronaldo Alexander.
Oh, I
You'll see
see you the
myself on.
third one going to the right,
Yes,
or
you
the
see
second
Johnny
one to the
Winfrey.
left.
Yeah, you also see Johnny Winfrey, Nick Halleck, and Les Brown. This is
Yeah, I see
Breakthrough.
Les Brown on there.
Yeah, that's Breakthrough. Now on Push, Johnny Winfrey is also on here, but I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Harris and Sasha Governor. They are amazing entrepreneurs and best-selling authors. This is Push.
Wow,
Yep, that's
that's
it. All
awesome, man.
all
Hold that
three
up
of
one
my
more time. So that's push.
yep. Persist
Persist until success
until
happens.
success happens.
And then put the other book up. Wow. Man, this is awesome. And you said people could pick that book up, both books on Amazon.
Yep, they can pick it up on Amazon. Only thing you have to do is just either put in my name or just type in the title of the book, Breakthrough, featuring Ronaldo Alexander, and you just type in Push or Persist Until Success Happens, featuring Ronaldo Alexander, and it comes up. And actually, Steve, what I like to do is I have some books here with me for 10 of our kidney warriors. If you would just share this, if you'll share this broadcast, and if you would follow my page on Facebook at Finding Your Will to Survive.
All right, let me put
At
that out there,
Finding,
that banner. Finding I remember now, your will to survive.
yeah,
I got
at
that.
Finding,
This your page.
yeah, at Finding Your Will to Survive. Put the at symbol and combine it all together, and it should bring you to my page, Ronaldo Alexander Motivations. If if you'll share this broadcast, and if you'll go to my page, and if you'll like and follow me on that page for the first 10, uh, and then when you do that, if you'll just hit done on the some kind of way, can they just type out done on here, Steve,
Okay.
on the broadcast? Some type of way to let me know that it's been done, or maybe you can help me how I could figure out. But
Oh
what I'll do is I'll
yeah.
personally
You
autograph. I want to personally autograph 10 of each book.
damn.
I'll
That's
autograph
20.
it. Yes, I'll autograph it and I'll send it to you. So once you like my page, send me a message. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Send.
one. That's
Yeah.
one
A
way.
direct
Send me a
message.
message with your Send me a message with your mailing address, and I will personally sign it and send it out to you. And I'm telling you, it's empowering. Not only my story, but stories in this book are empowering. It
Yeah,
will
and you
change your life.
gotta definitely like his page and share this video. Those are two prerequisites. Share this broadcast and go like Ronaldo's page, Finding Your Will to Survive on Facebook. Once you do that, send him a DM and let him know. Uh, and and do it. I mean, so he'll know you did it, and he'll send you an autographed
I'll
copy.
check.
First 10, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna do a fact check.
Yeah, 10. 10 of each one. Push and
10.
your breakthrough. Right?
That's right.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I'll mail out 20 books, 10 of each, and I'll just send it out as the order in which the PMs are sent.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome, man. Well, before before you go, I just want to share something with the people watching. Actually, starting next Tuesday, you'll be able to catch Ronaldo on Urban Health Outreach Media with his own show called "Finding Your Will to Survive." And actually, I got your wait a minute. Here we go. That's his brand, Ronaldo Alexander, encouraged by Ray. And got his email on here, or his Facebook page, Facebook Finding Your Will to Survive. So definitely check out Ray next Tuesday. We're gonna come up with a time. I think it may be about 8 Eastern Standard Time, but we'll have all that ironed out. But I mean, where else can you get motivation by a gentleman like this? Been on dialysis 5 years and just turned his life around. You can't get this nowhere else, but you're able to get it starting next Tuesday each week. And being encouraged by Ronaldo. Absolutely. Now, Ray, what are you going to be talking about on your shows? Can you just share some of the stuff that you may touch on?
Yeah, everything I'll be talking about is the core of it will be inspirational or motivational. Um, the mark on my life is to impact hope or to inject hope into the hearts, the minds, and souls of people around the world. So what I'll be doing is it'll just be a collaboration of just motivation, inspiring you to pursue and to persist, and to be committed to winning, to be committed to your life, to be committed to the people that love you, and to not give up. So every message will be a message of inspiration. So whether you are dealing with kidney dialysis, what are you dealing with cancer, what are you dealing with, relationship issues, what are you dealing with, heartache, backstab, whatever, you'll be able to find inspiration on this channel. You'll be able to find your will to survive. You will be encouraged by Ray.
Wow, man, you already have people. Uh, Chris Douglas, thank you for watching, Chris. Please share, like, and follow our page at Urban Health Outreach Media, Urban Kidney Alliance, and Warriors Quest. But Chris says he's definitely will be tuning in religiously. Connie Walker, she got crying eyes. She said, "Oh my God, thank you, Jesus." Nashonda Larimore, host of uh, Transplant Talk with Nashonda out of Florida. She says, great show. I mean, this has been a great show, man. And I'm sure you've given a lot of hope and inspiration to people who, you know, probably went through far less than what you experienced. I mean, I can't imagine starting dialysis and then 3 weeks later, my wife of 10 or 20 years decides to leave me because of my illness. And then shortly after that, my home burns down in a house fire. I mean, I'll be ready to just check out after all that. I'll be like, what's the meaning of all this?
Right. Yeah. I
Wow.
would like to I would like to just share like a little small story before
Sure.
we actually let out.
Sure,
So
man.
that there's a story of a man wandering through the jungle. So the vegetation is thick. You have cliffs, you have drop off, poisonous insects, and animals, dangerous animals. And he was journeying and trying to find his way, trying to maneuver his way through this jungle. And he got so tired of being snake bitten. He got so tired of falling. He got so tired of just stumbling over things. He got so tired of going through this jungle that one day he decided to just stop and give up, and he put his little light out. See, he considered his light small, and it was only small enough so he thought to maneuver himself around. And he decided to quit on life, to quit and just give up. And he put the light out. And once he put that light out, Steve, he began to hear yelling and screaming of hundreds of thousands of people. And he quickly lit his light back up and he turned around, and there were hundreds of thousands of people that were following his little light. He never knew that there were other people going through the exact same thing that he was going through. He never knew that people would count on him to maneuver and to inspire and to encourage them. He never knew it. So I said all of that. You never know who's following you and whose lives you are impacting and empowering. So just don't give up where you are. Make the decision to change. Make the decision to keep your light lit and to keep pursuing with everything in you. Just don't quit. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, man. That was very impactful. I mean, that inspired me and some challenges I'm going through to not just
Wow.
quit and give up. Like they say, don't quit before the miracle happens.
That's right. Don't give up before the manifestation of your faith.
Wow, man.
And
I'm
you know
looking
what?
forward to that first show.
That yeah, that will be one of the show's topic. Don't give up before the manifestation of your faith.
Somebody, uh, Lagatha Archie says, amen. And Lashonda, like I said, she has her show. She says you have a open invitation to her show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
And I'll give you her information. Uh, she has a great show every Thursdays. Um,
Okay.
and she's getting ready to do some big things as well. I'll let her put that out there, but definitely reach out to Nashonda Larimore. She's a transplant advocate,
Okay.
so she is definitely good people. Oh, and Crystalline White says, continue to inspire, cousin. You are an inspiration to me as I continue to inspire others while doing dialysis. So you have a relative on dialysis.
Yeah, and she's an inspiration to me. She is amazing. She just I mean, on dialysis. Man, I don't want to tell her story before her, but
Oh, okay, well,
Crystalline,
listen.
you need to connect. You need to connect
Yeah,
because
that's what I was about to
she's
say.
on dialysis. But I was saying she's also a registered nurse. She's accomplished awesome things with her situation, pushing through the challenges. She's amazing. She is
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, she's a registered nurse as well?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Crystalline White, please reach out to me, Steve Belcher, through DM. Send me a friend request. I would love to have you on the show. We can make it happen this month. Um, I'm a nurse as well, but I would love to hear your story from a healthcare provider perspective of being on the other side. So please, if you'd like to be on the show, share your story. We would love to have you on. So that would be great, man. And Chris,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. This is my first time seeing Chris Douglas on. I appreciate you. And we appreciate you at Urban Health Outreach Media. So if you're more than welcome to come on as well. So wow, Ronaldo. Anybody want to say hello to before we end, or one last word of encouragement to all the warriors watching?
Yeah, I always got words of encouragement, man. And if you give me the time and opportunity, I'm gonna give you some. So in life, things are extracted from you continuously and constantly. Everybody's pulling from you, to work, the job, the kids, everything. And if you don't be careful, you'll be like that ATM machine that everybody withdrawing money from. And at a period of time, that ATM machine will become temporarily out of order. Unless that truck pull up or the people in the bank comes back to put money back in, to you'll come to it, need money regardless of what you need it for, and it'll become temporary out of order. In life, When we don't take the time to invest back into ourselves, we become temporarily out of order. And when you become temporarily out of order, it doesn't matter who needs you and for what reason, you will have nothing else to give. So you must first be a help to yourself before you can be a help to others. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor and invest in yourself. Thank you. That's all, Steve.
Man, I was hoping you didn't stop.
Oh, well, I'm trying to be courteous and trying to
oh
keep
no,
time. The fact that you
right, yeah. But no, man, great information, man, and I can't wait to for episode 1 next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, from 8 to 9, to you to share this amazing information and inspiration, man. I can't wait. And I just wanted people to meet you, get to know who you are. I think this was a great format for your introduction, into sharing that information so people know who you are, man. And again, Renardo Alexander, encouraged by Ray, his show, Finding Your Will to Survive, will be every Tuesday from 8 to 9. Maybe sometimes may change. Like me and Ray going to work on that, but we will let you know before next Tuesday, and it won't be late, but it would be a great time for everyone to watch and even share with your family as well to help motivate your kids, your family, your friends. So yes, this is going to be an awesome show, man. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and being frank and sharing your story and being honest. And just again, man, sharing these words of encouragement, hope, and inspiration to kidney warriors and other people who may be dealing with a chronic illness or just dealing with life in general.
Yes, just life.
So, all right, man. Well, again, I thank you. End the show, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And I'm sure everyone else will be, to seeing you come on that first show.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you for the opportunity, and I just know that people lives are about to change. They're going to be impacted, and I expect testimonies to come from this show. I expect it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, man, when you started doing youth mentor, everything you touched, you turned around through the grace of God, or the program that you got involved with flourished because of your input and dedication into that project. So we definitely look forward to that and expect great things from Finding Your Will to Survive.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, again, thank you for coming on. We'll be in touch. And again, folks, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Finding Your Will to Survive, host Renardo Alexander, encouraged by Ray. All right, Renardo, take it easy, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you may have some comments, so you may want to check the feed.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it, and I'll go to the page because I'm ready to send these books out, and they'll be sent out this week. So, yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that, man. God bless you. And again, have a great evening, man, and stay safe.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, this was an awesome show. Plus, we never had a show where the guests are giving away free giveaways. 2 books, 10 books each. Push and Breakthrough. That's 20 people going to be blessed. 10 for Breakthrough, 10 for Push. All you got to do, share this broadcast, go to Finding Your Will to Survive on Facebook, and then send Renardo a DM letting them know what you've done, and you will be blessed with the book. Oh, Miss Alexandra, thank you for watching. Please share, follow, and like our pages: Urban Health Outreach Media, Urban Kidney Alliance, and Warriors Quest on Facebook. We really appreciate all the new watchers tonight. I've seen some new watchers, whether you came with Renardo or someone else. Thank you and God bless you. We always appreciate new viewers and look to adding more to get this information that we want to give away for free. Again, I'm Steve Belcher. I've done dialysis as a charge nurse over 34 years, and just going to get that information away so you can live a better life in spite of dealing with dialysis. Oh, Miss Walker, thank you. I appreciate you from Arizona. Anytime you need to talk with me, reach out to me through DM if you're on dialysis or have any questions or concern. Reach out through me through DM. I'll send you my number and we can talk on the phone, and hopefully I will be able to answer any question. That's what anyone who wants or needs some information and they're not sure. If I can't answer it, I'll get the question answered for you. So, because no one should not be without education, especially when you have something like kidney disease, the 9th leading cause of death, come into your life to create a new normal. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the steady crowd of 24, 25. Really amazing. God bless you. And then watch tomorrow night at 8:30 to 9:30 Warriors Quest with host Jared A. Brown. He's going to have on Jonathan Trailer. This is going to be a show you don't want to miss. Warriors Quest, where we give kidney patients, kidney warriors who are looking for a living donor, the platform to share their story and to make a plea for a living donor. It's free. It's on Warriors Quest with Jared A. Brown every Wednesday night at 8:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Guys, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Stay blessed and encouraged. And also tune in next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, Finding Your Will to Survive with Renardo Alexander. This is going to be one show you are not going to want to miss. My God. Thank you, guys. We love you. Again, stay blessed and encouraged. And we see you again soon. Talk to you. Peace.
Y'all, it's about to go down. I said, y'all, it's about to go down.
I've been walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who
This is the Polish Ambassador, featuring the Grouch. and Scott knows. Don't get it twisted.
I might be conscious, still I like to fuck.
I like it.
Do a little yoga, then lift some weights up. I be as I'm supposed to, perfectly imperfect. Indulge in deep combo, get hyped when she twerk.